Well, we consider non-traditional social work students to be those students who are not on campus doing the traditional social work program. They're usually traditional age students, graduate students that are in their very early 20s, undergraduate students that are 18 to 22, but students who are on campus doing sort of what we think of as the traditional program. These non-traditional students are often students who are doing evening courses, online courses at a distance. So they're usually not traditional age. They're usually older. Most of them are working full-time, most often in human service organizations, and hence their interest in social work. So their primary responsibility in life isn't necessarily to be a student. They're often parents and have community responsibilities and work responsibilities, and are trying to go to school part-time on top of it. Unfortunately, the issue then becomes the fact that the field education requirements are the same, whether you're a traditional age student or a non-traditional age student. Well, I think anytime a student is in the non-traditional student category, that means they have other additional responsibilities, work responsibilities, family responsibilities, community responsibilities, often church-related responsibilities, and they have to divide their time and their energy and their financial resources between their families and those responsibilities, as well as trying to be a student. And I think although traditional age students often get resources from their families or financial aid, non-traditional students often have to continue to work full-time and are not able to give up their jobs, move away from small rural communities, and move on to a campus setting. So they bring a significant difference in their resources and their needs. The schools and programs have done a great deal in an attempt to make social work education accessible to non-traditional students through distance programming, through online and hybrid programming, through evening courses, through all kinds of ways that students can work full or part-time, have families, and still go to school. However, the field education component of the social work educational program has not changed in since field education originated. It requires 480 hours of field-based educational experience at the undergraduate level and 1,000 hours at the graduate level. And this amounts to for both programs, about 16 hours a week for either a year or for 2 years, which is a huge commitment of time and energy and expense for students to complete the field education component. However, it is the signature pedagogy of social work education, and the profession believes it is the way in which students learn and are socialized into the profession and learn the skills necessary to carry out social work, the social work services. So I think we're just now beginning to try to figure out ways that we can make changes or be creative with regard to programming for field education. And I think the new educational policy and accreditation standards of our accrediting body are trying to help allow schools to be more creative in this regard while still maintaining the rigor of the field education component of students' educational requirements. How that innovation is going to look, I don't know. But it's been one of the things that I've been working on over the last many years, trying to rethink how students could do and get a great learning experience while based in their place of employment, so they could be at their job and working and learning at the same time. And we're trying to think about some creative ways to do that, to include some campus-based or office-site field supervision, or more closely defining these kinds of field placements and monitoring them so that we can be sure that the competencies are being met. Maybe the creative use of some seminars and learning communities and learning groups. And lastly, some project-based or research-based placements for students who are in the macro concentrations at their schools. So there are some ideas out there, but it's hard to I guess the word is risk. It's hard to risk our meeting our accreditation requirements when these are new programs, new ways of doing things that haven't been tested. So we have to find ways to test and evaluate these new ways of doing things, and maintain the rigor of the field education component.